everyone, we are Group 2 and we are here to present a walk-in video on the topic Missions of ISRO. Hope you enjoy it.
ISRO is the most extraordinary and admired space organization in India. It had achieved several feats of glory and astonishment, which we will be getting into shortly. Let us start with the most meaningful first mission of ISRO. The first mission was the Aryabhata spacecraft. Named after the famous Indian astronomer, was India's first satellite. It was completely designed and fabricated in India and launched by a Soviet Cosmos 3M rocket from Kapustin on April 19, 1975. But now this poses a very interesting question. Was it the most successful one? If not, which one is the most successful then? Mongolian 1 is the most popular answer to this question. MOM-1 is one of India's most successful missions, which ISRO is extremely proud of, as it is still working to date and conveying data, even after all these years. Talking about successful, how many successful missions have ISRO actually completed? The Indian Space Research Organization has carried out 111 spacecraft missions, 79 launch missions, and planned several missions, including the Aditya, Gaganyaan, and MOM-2. You should always know two sides of a story. Even ISRO had not a fully safe journey. It itself had to face failures and had persevered to get where it is now. As of 12th December 2019, there have been a total of 75 launches, including 62 successful launches, 4 partially successful launches, and 9 failed launches. Then coming to the next matter in hand, which is the most iconic mission of ISRO. The most iconic mission is believed to be the Chandrayaan according to the general populace. The Chandrayaan 1 was India's first lunar probe. It was launched by the Indian Space Research Organization on 22nd October 2008 and operated until August 2009. The mission included a lunar orbiter and an impactor.
The missions done in the past of ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. Mars Orbiter Mission (MOM), also called Mangalyaan, is a spacecraft orbiting Mars since 24 September 2014. It was launched on 5 November 2013 by the Indian Space Research Organisation (ISRO). It is India's first interplanetary mission, and ISRO has become the fourth space agency to reach Mars after the NASA and the European Space Agency. India is the first Asian nation to reach Mars orbit and the first nation in the world to do so in its first attempt. Chandrayaan-2 is the second mission to the Moon, which include an orbiter, a lander and rover. Chandrayaan-2 was launched on geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle Mark III on 22 July 2019. Consisted of lunar orbiter, the Vikram lander, and Pageant lunar rover, all of which were developed in India. It was the first mission meant to explore the little explored lunar South Pole region. The main objective of the Chandrayaan-2 mission is to demonstrate ISRO's ability to soft land on the lunar surface and operate a robotic rover on the surface. Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle Mark III, also known as LVM-3, is the heaviest rocket in operational service with ISRO. Equipped with a more powerful cryogenic engine and booster than GSLV, it has significantly higher payload capacity and
A very good day to everyone. I welcome you all on behalf of my team to our world of space exploration.
Hey everyone, I'm here to talk about Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. Dr. Sarabhai was considered as the father of the Indian space program. He was a great institution builder and established or helped to establish a large number of institutions in diverse fields. He was instrumental in establishing the Physical Research Laboratory. He was also a chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission. He, along with other Ahmedabad based industrialists, played a major role in the creation of Indian Institute of Management. Some of the most well known institutions established by Dr. Sarabhai are Physical Research Laboratory, Indian Institute of Management, Community Science Center, Darpan Academy for Performing Arts, Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, Space Application Center, and so on. The establishment of Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO) was one of his greatest achievements. He successfully convinced the government of the importance of a space program for a developing country like India after the Russian Sputnik launch. Dr. Sarabhai emphasized the importance of a space program in his quote. There are some who question the relevance of space activities in a developing nation. To us, there is no ambiguity of purpose. We do not have the fantasy of competing with the economically advanced nations in the exploration of the moon or the planets or the manned space flight. But we are convinced that if we are to play a meaningful role nationally and in the community of nations, we must be second to none in the application of advanced technologies to the real problems of man and society. Dr. Sarabhai started a project for the fabrication and launch of an Indian satellite. As a result, the first Indian satellite, Aryabhatta, was put in orbit in 1975 from Russian cosmonaut. Dr. Sarabhai was very interested in science education and founded a community science center at Ahmedabad in 1966. Today, the center is called the Vikram A. Sarabhai Community Science Center. Thank you.
Current missions of ISRO. There are two ongoing missions. So they are. So the first mission name is Mars Orbiter mission. It was started on 5th November 2013 and it's still ongoing. Mars Orbiter mission is also called as Mangalyaan, is a spacecraft orbiting Mars since 24th September 2014. It was launched on 5th November 2013 by the Indian Space Research Organization ISRO. It is India's first interplanetary mission and ISRO has become fourth space agency to reach Mars. India is the first nation to reach Mars orbit and first nation in the world to do so in the first attempt. So the second one is AstroSat. It was started on 28 September 2015 and it's still going. AstroSat is the first dedicated Indian astronomy satellite mission launched by ISRO on 28 September 2015. It enabled multi-wavelength observations of celestial body and cosmic sources in X-ray and UV spectral bodies.
I am here to throw some light on the future projects of ISRO. Aditya L1. Aditya L1 is the first Indian solar chronograph spacecraft mission to study the solar corona in visible and near IR bands. It is expected to be launched by the middle of 2022. NISAR. NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar (NISAR) is a joint project between NASA and ISRO to co-develop and launch a dual-frequency synthetic aperture radar satellite to be used for remote sensing. It is notable for being the first dual-band radar imaging satellite. It is expected to be launched by January of 2023. Shukran-1, the Indian Venetian Orbiter mission, is a planned orbiter to Venus by the ISRO to study the atmosphere of Venus. It will be launched by December 2023. Mangalyaan-2, Mars Orbiter Mission 2 (MOM-2), also called Mangalyaan-2, is India's second interplanetary mission planned for launch to Mars by the Indian Space Research Organisation in the 2021 to 2022 timeframe. It will consist of an orbiter and will not include a lander and a rover. It is expected to be launched during the year 2024. Chandrayaan-3 mission repeat of Chandrayaan-2 with lander, rover and a propulsion module to attempt soft landing of lunar surface. The launch of this satellite can be expected by 2022.
ISRO versus NASA. The basic difference between ISRO versus NASA is that NASA stands for National Aeronautics and Space Administration, while ISRO stands for Indian Space Research Organization. The next classification is based on the foundation. NASA was established in the year 1958 by President David D. Eisenhower as a plan to create a distinctly civilian rather than military orientation, encouraging peaceful applications in space science. The ISRO, on the other hand, was established in 1969 under the administrative control of the Department of Space, Government of India. Next classification is based on the achievements. NASA has launched 1,091 unnamed space satellites and 109 manned missions to different planets in the solar system. As compared to NASA, ISRO is younger and has not achieved as much. However, what it has achieved is still worthwhile. It built India's first satellite Aryabhatta, which was launched by the Soviet Union in 1975. The next classification is based on the description. In the case of ISRO, the primary space agency of India, while in the case of NASA, the nation's civilian space program and for aeronautics and aerospace research.
Structure of a rocket. Warhead. Warhead is the explosive or toxic material that is delivered by a rocket, and it is a type of bomb. Guide beam and radio command receivers. This is a type of missile guidance in which a ground station or aircraft relays signals to guided missile via radio control or through a wire connecting to the missile launcher and tell missile where to steer in order to intercept its target. Alcohol mixture. This can spray water into the incoming air or fuel air mixture or directly into the combustion chamber to cool certain parts of the induction system where hot points are present. Rocket body. The purpose of the body is to house the fuel. It is often in the form of a hollow cylinder because it reduces amount of surface area that is in contact with the air. The nose cone of a rocket acts as a way to punch a hole in the atmosphere.
The following part is the liquid oxygen. Liquid oxygen, LOX, serves as the oxidizer. The next is the hydrogen peroxide tank. Concentrated hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, is one of the leading liquid rocket propellants. It is a liquid which is stable in extended storage over a wide range of normal temperatures. It has high density, negative heat of formation, high specific energy release, and a high percentage of available oxygen. The next is the rocket combustion chamber. In a rocket engine, fuel and a source of oxygen, called an oxidizer, are mixed and exploded in the combustion chamber. The combustion produces hot exhaust which is passed through a nozzle to accelerate the flow and produce thrust. The next is the air vane or the fin, which is a very essential part of a rocket. Early rockets and current air to air missiles typically use movable fins at the rear of the rocket. The movable fin adjusts the amount of aerodynamic force on the rocket. The aerodynamic force acts through the center of pressure, which is normally not located at the center of gravity.
The next is automatic gyro control, also known as a gyroplane or gyrocopter, which is a type of rotorcraft that uses an unpowered rotor in free auto rotation to develop lift. Compressed pressurizing bottles are used to pressurize the inside of the body tube to provide thrust for the rocket. Wings only provide lift perpendicular to the motion of an object, and they create drag which is okay for airplanes flying horizontally. Exhaust vanes or jet vanes allow the thrust to be deflected without moving any parts of the engine.
A very good day to one and all. We are from the model making team here to tell about the Chandrayaan 2. The spacecraft was launched on its mission to the moon from the second launch pad at the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Andhra Pradesh on 22nd July 2019. The craft reached the moon's orbit on 20th August 2019 and began orbital positioning activity for the landing of the Vikram lander.
The mission is designed to expand the lunar scientific knowledge through detailed study of topography, seismography, mineral identification and distribution, surface chemical composition, thermal physical characteristics of topsoil, leading to a new understanding of the origin and evolution of the moon. The lander and the rover were scheduled to land on the near side of the moon in the south polar region at a latitude of about 70 degrees south on 6 September 2019 and conduct scientific experiments for one lunar day, which is approximately 1 week in Earth. The study, authored by scientists including former ISRO chairman A.S. Kiran Kumar from Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, Dehradun, Ahmedabad based Space Application Center, Bengaluru based UR Rao Satellite Center, and ISRO headquarters, says the discovery is significant for future planetary exploration, for resource utilization, as several international missions, both manned and unmanned, to the moon are lined up in next few years.
Martian lander's construction was delayed after 2011 failure of Rokomos's Phobos grunt mission to Martyrian moon of Phobos, the report stated. The lander and the rover were scheduled to land on the near side of the moon in the south polar region at altitude of 70 degrees south on 6 September 2019 and conduct scientific experiments for one lunar day, which approximates to Earth's 2 weeks. Initially, ISRO planned to partner with Russia to perform Chandrayaan-2. The two agencies signed an agreement in 2007 to launch the orbiter and lander in 2013.
Thank you.
Hello all. Today, we the presentation group will be presenting on the topic India and the world's space race. So let's start. ISRO, 1969 to 2021. India decided to go to space when Indian National Committee for Space Research in COSPAR was set up by the Government of India in 1962. With the visionary Dr. Vikram Sarabhai at its helm, INCOSPA set up the Tumba Equatorial Rocket Launching Station, TERLS, in Thiruvananthapuram for upper atmospheric research.
Vikram Sarabhai. He is considered as the father of India's space program. Vikram Sarabhai was born on 12th August 1919 in the city of Ahmedabad in Gujarat. He was instrumental in setting up of the Indian Space Research Organization ISRO when he successfully convinced the Indian government of the importance of a space program for a developing nation after the launch of the Russian Sputnik. APJ Abdul Kalam. Abul Pakir Jainulabdin Abdul Kalam, born on October 15, 1931, is an Indian scientist who worked as an aerospace engineer with Defense Research and Development Organization (DRDO) and Indian Space Research Organization. Kalam started his career with designing a small helicopter for the Indian Army. Kalam was also a part of ISCOSPAR committee working under Vikram Sarabhai, the renowned space scientist. In 1969, Kalam was transferred to the Indian Space Research Organization, where he was the project director of India's first indigenous satellite launch vehicle, SLV-3, which successfully deployed the Rohini satellite in near Earth's orbit in July 1980.
So I'll be talking about the future missions of ISRO. First, we have the Mars Orbiter Mission 2, which is abbreviated as MOM-2, and it is also called Mangalyaan-2. It is India's second interplanetary mission planned for launch to Mars by ISRO in 2024. Shukrayaan-1 is expected to launch in the year 2025 by ISRO in collaboration with CNES, which is a French space study center. Shukrayaan-1 is an orbiter to Venus that will orbit closely around it and study its surface and atmosphere. Next, we have Chandrayaan-3, which will be a robotic space mission that includes a lunar rover and lander that will explore the south pole of the moon. It is likely to be launched in the third quarter of 2022. And the fourth mission we have is somewhere around 2025, and ISRO is planning its own space station that will orbit around the Earth. Next, we have Gaganyaan, which was announced by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi in August 2018. It is an Indian human space flight scheduled for 2022. It is designed to have 3 to 7 crew members spend 3 to 7 days in a 400-kilometer orbit. Its objective is to demonstrate the capability to send humans to low Earth orbit on board an Indian launch vehicle and then to bring them back to Earth safely. And then lastly, we have LUPEX, or the Lunar Polar Exploration Mission, which is actually a robotic lunar mission by ISRO in collaboration with JAXA, Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency. And it would send a lunar rover and lander to explore the South Pole region of the moon in 2024. So here we have the pictures of the satellites that I was talking about.
India's contribution to space research and robotics. Here are the contributions. Did you know the space activities in India started as early as 1960? And these to study about the ionosphere using small sounding rockets. Seeing this and realizing the immense potential, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai envisioned a solution to solve the problems of the people of the country. This led to the development of remote sensing, television broadcast, telecommunications, and meteorology. And India became capable to do anything that the other countries were able to do.
How India helps everyone in the world. The implantation of the Indian space program to promote the development and application of space science and technology for the socio-economic benefit of the country. DOS implements these programs to mainly Indian Space Research Organization PRL, NARL, NE, SEC, and SEL. The Antrix Corporation, established in 1992 as a government-owned company, markets space products and services for the world.
Before we start discussing about the ancient history of Indian astronomy and astrology, let's understand the difference between the both. Astronomy is a science that studies everything outside the Earth's atmosphere and the properties and relationships of these celestial bodies. Astrology, on the other hand, is a study of the influence that distant cosmic objects have on the life of the human. Ancient Indian astrology. Indian astrology is as old as Vedas and Upanishads. Till now, many ancient astrological works have been translated into different foreign languages. By observing the rotation of a moon around the earth and the rotation of the earth, Indian astrologers explained about the 12 zodiac signs, 27 nakshatras, 30 days of a month phase, a year of 12 months. The originator of Vedic astrology is Parasara Muni. The records that exist in India today point clearly to a highly developed knowledge of astrology as far as back of about 6500 BC. Ancient Indian astronomy. In India, first references to astronomy are to be found in the Rig Veda, which is dated around 2000 BC. The Jyotisha Vedanga is told to be the first Vedic text to mention astronomical data. Ancient India astronomer Aryabhatta had recognized that the sun is center of the universe and that the circumference of the earth is 5000 yojana. 1 yojana being 7.2 kilometer, the ancient Indian estimates came close to the actual figure. In the 6th century, Baraha Mihira proposed that there must be some sort of attractive force which held objects to the earth and also held the celestial bodies in place. In the 7th century CE, the astronomer Brahmagupta told that the circumference of Earth was 36,000 kilometers, very close to the actual figure. These are some evidences that can help us understand that astronomy can be traced back a very long time ago in India.
So we would like to thank our teachers and the school for supporting us and providing us with this prestigious opportunity, and we hope that this presentation was educational to you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.